Good morning, my name is Senabit. I am here to give training about the topic of hygiene design for water factory. Simply the word hygiene means maintaining health and prevent disease, or we can tell it like hygiene means clean, keep everything clean and neat. So by following hygienic practices, what are the benefits we are going to have in our industry or in a factory or in a food preparation unit? Definitely it will prevent us from foodborne illness, or it will reduce the food wastage, and it will also improve the efficiency, and it can give a good reputation for the enhancement. So in this topic we will be discussing about premise. Mainly is premise, how is the design and construction, and what are the facilities provided for the staff. And while considering construction, we will be discussing about each and every points like walls, what is the wall design, or it is how the floors should be, or how the drainage should be, or how the ceilings, lightings, ventilations and doors, washing facilities, drainage, disposal and storage of chemicals, as well as the water supply. So first we will discuss about how the premise should be. The premise should be maintained in clean and hygienic condition. So as in the picture you can see that the surfaces are well concreted. There should not be any particles which is coming from, or it should not enter into the plant. So it should be effective protection against the pest access and habit. There should not be any pest entry into the outside inside unit. The outside walking and driving area are surfaced with concrete, and they do not constitute any chance of contamination. And the production area is also designed in a way it is easy to clean, and also there should not be any chance of entrance of any dust particles or any contamination into the preparation area. And everywhere in the inside, when it comes to the preparation unit also, there will be an electric air air curtains are provided, which will stop any particles or any dust or anything coming inside to the preparation area. And this also will help us to maintain the temperature in that specific area. So when designing the factory, we will be having separate units. That is, once the truck comes, we will be having the unloading area as well as the loading area. So these two areas should be separate, because it will help us to avoid any material going inside into the preparation area. So therefore any chance of contamination can be controlled in this. That is, as well as from this receiving as well as from the shipping operation into plant. And no food rooms like preparation area or bottle storing areas, or it can be any other areas apart from the resting area. Other areas should not be used as a resting area by the staffs. Next, it is regarding the staff facilities. In order to practice hygienic conditions, what are the things which company is providing for the staff facilities, for the staffs whoever is working here? So staffs will be having a separate area for their entrance. That is, only through the designated area they are supposed to enter into the production area, and they will be provided with a dress changing room, which will have all cupboards, as well as other lockers facilities will be there, where they can keep their belongings. And there will be a toiletry facility also, which is provided near to the dress changing area, so it is easy to accessible, and that toilet facilities also should be ventilated, and the doors especially should be self-closing. And there will be hand wash stations where they are supposed to only wash their hands. Hand wash facilities are provided with easy accessible. They are easily accessible while in production area also, because whenever emergency comes, it should be easily accessible for them. And these washing areas, hand washing areas, will be provided with tissues, hand wash liquids and operated dustbins, that non-hand operated dustbins, that is mainly food operated dustbins and sanitizers also. Next is we can see how the design and construction. So not only within the staffs, the hygiene practices is limited. When we are building up a factory also, there are certain areas where we have to focus and do the construction well. So this will help us to avoid any contaminations coming into the preparation place, as well as any other risk which will in future it will come. So the factory layout, it should be always in a linear, that is, it should be linear flow of production. Factory should have a designed to ensure linear flow of production, and it is designed in a way where there is no cross contamination. There is no chance of cross contamination to occur, and also dirty areas like washing of bottles should be very separate from the cleaning operation. And there should be, if factory is having 3-4 machineries, there should be enough spacings, like one machine and another machine should have a minimum much gap. It should be there within the production area, and it should be suitable for fixtures as well as any other fittings also. It should not be too crowded or too congested. There should be easy to move also. And the building provides sufficient protection against entry of pests, especially rodents, insects, etc. So the pest monitoring system should be always alert. Next, we will be discussing about the floor, how the design of the floor should be. So inside production area, the floors should be always made up of non-porous materials, which is of high quality, as well as it can withstand high pressure without any cracks. And the floor should be smooth, light colored, as well as waterproof and slip resistant, because chances of standing waters will be there. So it should be easily movable also. If suppose water is there, it should have its own way to go out into the drainage. So the floor should be sufficiently sloped for the liquids to drain into the drainage systems. There should be free flow of water, which will prevent the water standing. Next is walls. Walls should be designed and constructed in such a way that they can be maintained properly, and it should be easy to clean also. Walls in wet areas especially should be made up of materials like impervious material, which can withstand cleaning as well as regular washing also. And in areas where food is handled, like preparation area, the walls can be made up of partitions. So at a minimum height of 3 meter we can maintain the 2 meter we can maintain the partition, and remaining can be made up of any tiles material which can be easily cleaned. And the rest may be painted with a light colored, or junctions between the walls and partitions and floor should be coved. Next main factor is ceiling. So while making ceiling for a factory, it should have a false ceiling, which is made up of non-absorbent material, and it is easily cleanable also, and it will reduces the chances of condensation. So it won't lead to the growth of any other mold or any other bacteria. It will stop the growth of undesirable mold. So it should be easy to clean also, and it should be of non-absorbent material. And all utility lines like any pipes or anything is coming above the false ceiling, it should have an easy access and it should be well maintained also. So any easy opening should be there above the false ceiling. So in chance of any pest infestation is there or any leakage is there, it is easy to track also. And this ceiling materials, whatever we are using for ceiling, it should not flake, or it should prevent the accumulation. So it should not be easily breaking down and coming into the preparation area. These all things have to be in mind while preparing the ceiling. Next comes to main factor is lighting. So in bottle, like water production unit, lighting is a very important factor, because if by chance any particle is getting introduced, we should have a proper system to make sure that nothing is being gone inside the water, or even a small drop of any dirt particle should not be there in the water. For that, we should have a light fixtures which is designed to prevent the accumulation of dirt and easily it should be cleanable. So there are two lighting facilities which is usually provided in our factory. It is like in certain areas like dry chillers or dry food storage is there or chiller is there, we will be keeping a light intensity of 110 lux, just above 3 feet above the floor. Or in areas like food preparation area, we will be keeping around 220 lux of light. It is also applicable in storage areas. So light we have like two intensities, that is 110 lux for a chiller or where that much care is not needed, like for dry food storage area, and in areas like preparation area, storage area, it should be 220 lux. This is the same followed for washroom, storage rooms, etc. And next is ventilation. The factory is supposed to have a well aerated system. There should not be any air or there should not be any blockage of air, because any air or anything is blocked, it will lead to the condensation, air stagnation and condensation of fluids. So the AC grills as well as diffusers are always cleaned and dusted periodically, and ventilation is provided in all areas, which helps in minimizing the airborne condensation also, and which will control the ambient temperature. So inside the factory for storage areas, we will be always maintaining a temperature of 25 degree is always maintained. So for storing chemicals and all, we will be focusing on temperature of below 25 degree. It should be always air ventilated. Next comes door. Like what we have said about a partition also, doors are also made with easily cleanable materials. Like the door should be easy to open also. It should be automatically opening. That is, it should be self-closing and tightly closable doors, leaving into the, it should not leave any gaps to prevent the entry of pest. If ever, you can see in the picture, if ever any gap is there, we will be using this rubber seals to avoid the gaps between the doors. So it should be easy to move, like it should be self-closing types doors are preferred in production areas, and also this will also help us to keep away the pest entering into the production area. Next we have washing facilities. So washing is also an important factor when it comes to food preparation. So we will have separate units for hand washings, like where we are only allowed to wash our hands, and we will be also having bottle washing areas also there, where we will be carrying out manual washing. So all these places should be made up of materials which is easy to cleanse, and there should be a daily cleaning practices also. So this all will be noted under the personal checklist or daily checklist. Okay. So next comes before moving to that next one, we will be discussing about the hand washing also. Hand washing facilities also, as mentioned before, we will be providing automatic taps, which is based on sensor. So no hands should have any contact with the tape, and also we will be having foot operated dustbins and sanitizer, washing soaps. All these are provided in the hand wash stations. Next we will be discussing about the drainage. As you have seen in the picture, drainage, it should be always covered. It should be always kept covered, because there is a chance for pest harbage. So drains of underground type allow the surface of the floor to remain clean and hygiene at a given time, and all drains opening should be closed, and it should be closed with either stainless straps. So it will allow the water, any standing water is there, it will be freely moving into the drain, and any solid particles are there, it will be trapped above the cover. And any pipelines are coming on that area, it should not be they should not connect cross connect. And to prevent the backflow through cross connection, backflow prevention devices like air gaps and vacuum breakers are also installed in these areas, and the wastewater will get automatically drain into the drainage system, which will be collected in the slum pit. From the slum pit, the water has been transferred into the municipality water pipeline. So this is all regarding the drainage. Next is how we will dispose the wastes. So as we have mentioned before, all the dustbins should be foot operated. There should not be any hand touch to the dustbins. And these foot operated lidded garbage bins are provided in all sections. That is, in preparation area we will be having different unit, in pantry we will be having different. So whenever the bins are full, it should be immediately removed. And waste is timely removed from the production area as well as the another area like other storage areas etc. where in a hygiene manner by people. Extreme care is also taken to avoid the contamination of garbage bag during transportation. Next is chemical store. The chemicals which we are using as a raw material is always kept in a separate place. There should be proper ventilation, proper lighting facilities also. In the next picture you can see this is an arrangement of the store. So it should be always kept in a way like there will be different types of chemicals. We will be using liquid chemical, we will be using dry, and then maybe some will be in powder form. So all the solid material should be kept at the top row. And next section it will comes for the fine powder items, and liquid substances should be always at the below row. That is, it should be at the lowest row, and all items should be appropriately labeled and positioned, and do not misplace any material. If ever we are using any chemical from particular box and we are diluting it, or any either can be liquid or a solid particle, we should properly label when it is diluted and keep it in the special place. Next comes to the raw water supply. How the raw water supply is happening. So the raw water which we are using for production is always dependent upon the Deva line. So this water will be, make sure it meets all the standards before using. And there should not be any cross connection between the potable and non-potable water supply lines. An engineering department will ensure that the pipeline has not been rusted or corroded. So the tanks which we are using for storing water should be always stainless steel. It should avoid corrosion happening. How we will be doing the cleaning and sanitization work. To prevent the contamination of water, all the equipment should be cleaned as frequently as necessary and disinfected at a frequent interval during the end of everyday work. And for tank cleaning as well as for filter, we will have a different time period. All the tanks which are made up of stainless steel will be undergone for a they will be cleaned twice yearly, 6-month contract, and filters will be removed at a frequent intervals. And all areas where water contact is there, it is made up of durable, non-toxic and non-corrosive and non-absorbent material. They will withstand, they will be easy to clean also, and designated withstand intended use. The design and construction, installation and maintenance of the equipments are in a manner to prevent any risk of contamination from lubricants as well as metal fragments and contaminated water. It should be easy to clean also. And whatever plastics we are using inside, it should be food grade plastic or it should be ceramics. And this is the way how we will be keeping our tools inside the toolbox. The tools must be kept inside the storeroom in a assigned place only, and there should not be any bolt, nuts or tools of the machines or any other products. When we are carrying it, it should be with the toolbox inside or outside. Next comes pest control. Pest infestation is the major problem for a food manufacturing factory. So we should follow all the methods to avoid the chances of pest harborage inside or outside the premise. So pests mainly include rodents, birds, insects, etc. And their signs include, it can be droppings or feathers, or it can be the spottings of any damaged food and packaging, or the smell of urine also. And what are the methods we are using for controlling the pests will be environmental, chemical methods as well as the physical methods. So this is the all entrance area will be provided with electric fly killer, so it will be easily tracking the any flies are in and around. And another thing is regarding pest is overloaded garbage. So this garbage, it should always refrain from littering. Whenever the garbage is full, it should be easily taken outside. These all are the things which company will be taking care of to make sure personal hygiene in their construction as well as implementation time. And when it comes to the employees, the main thing is their personal hygiene. So personal hygiene is simply means we have to keep ourselves clean and neat all time when we are entering as well as entering into the production unit, or as well as when we are away from it. So what are all things included in that? Simply like common practices like brushing, bathing. Then the nails of the employees who is working inside should be short, and you are supposed to, if it is hair or beard, you have to be trimming it. And always make sure you wear tidy clothes, and hand washing and mouth washing practices should be there if ever after or even after smoking. And hand sanitization as well as wounds, cuts or burns are there, always report to the whoever is in charge of that, and control the infectious disease. Next is make sure you always wear PPEs in preparation. PPEs includes mask, gloves, hairnet, safety shoes, shoe caps and shoe covers. Hand washing. As we all know that hand is the main carrier for any of the microbial organism inside the production unit. So our hand will have millions of bacteria in and around. So we have to make sure we always wash our hands before entering into the production area, or after production also, even after using toiletries, after toiletries, before and after eating also. So how this hand washing practice will be done? First of all, hand washing should be done in a specific area allotted for hand washing. There will be hand wash basins where we are supposed to do only hand washings. There should not be any other, like a bottle washing, anything we cannot take place there. So we have to be using first the allotted time, or it is for effective hand washing, it is always told that 20 seconds of hand washing should be there, minimum 20 seconds. So first we will be just near to the tap, automatic tap, we will be just washing our hands, then we will put on the soap, it will be automatic, then we will lather it, then rinse everywhere inside the palm, then in between the fingers, then to the thumb, then outside as well as the wrist. Then make sure it is washed, then dry it, then move your hands towards sanitizer, gently apply everywhere. That's it. And jewelry policy. Since humans are there inside the production area, there is a chance of introduction of contaminants from our side. So we should have a jewelry policy where we should not carry or wear watches, no chains, no rings, no studs or accessories or gadgets or mobiles, etc. towards the production area. And wherever cleaning is needed, when and there anything is there, clean it immediately. It can be floor, it can be hand wash station, it can be sink, pantry, machines, tabletops. Whenever cleaning place is needed, clean it up. And it should be by usage of chemicals as well as putting gloves. All these precautions should be needed. And no eating or no drinking inside the production unit, and it should be always restricted towards pantry unit. Next comes arrangements and handling practices. So raw materials as well as the finished goods we will be having. And in order to make sure hygiene practices, we have to be keeping away raw materials as well as the finished products in separate places. Should be always away. So this will help us to prevent cross contamination. And also all items should be properly labeled with the production date as well as the expiry. Always we will be having a FIFO practice, first in, first out, and do not mix up, and always make sure you follow GMP, good manufacturing practices. So that is all about how we make sure hygiene practices are followed inside the premise in production area also. So while concluding, we can tell that hygiene practices are followed in a food processing units to make sure that food which we have prepared is safe and there is no wastage, and it will also help us to prevent foodborne illness and reputation enhancement. Personal hygiene like trainings are being given to people who are working inside that factory, whoever is leading with the production, and as well as person in charge will make sure that all production are safe and just following GHP. Quality of raw materials as well as the finished goods will be always monitored. Next is raw and finished goods should be kept away. It should not be kept in the same places, and chemicals should be stored in specific chemical rooms where they have a good temperature, that is below 25 degrees Celsius. And finished goods has to be stored in cool temperature. It should not have, that is water bottles etc. should not be having exposure to sunlight. It should be always away from sunlight, and strictly follow tank cleaning as well as pest cleaning services. So by practicing all these methods, we can make sure that factory, production, everything will be following the hygiene practices. Thank you.